The Leatherneck. As an obvious reference to Leatherface, the beloved children's show host, clad in a blood-stained flannel shirt and a burlap sack over their head, these cannibalistic hillbillies are waiting for the chance to fillet you into a Dusk Dude brisket. Not long after leaving the first basement, you come across their handiwork, unfortunate souls who most likely took a wrong turn into town. At first glance, they don't seem possessed, as their eyes aren't glowing, but this may have been an oversight in the original release, as the HD models fixed this mistake. Aside from the obvious butchering and lunchbox packing they provide their fellow cult members, within areas where they appear and there are no bodies lying about, it is safe to assume that their physical strength comes in handy for menial labor that the cult requires, and not much more, as they never show any penchant for magic. The Mage. If you couldn't already tell, the Mage's design get inspiration from the KKK, with their pointed hoods and long flowing robes, and what better way to inject a heinous group's likeness than to blow up every single one you come across. At first glance, it's easy to see the green aura that surrounds them, although jumping around the level may make it a bit hard to notice that they are actually floating slightly above the ground. These enemies have brief voice lines when encountering the player.
Blood. Heretic. Kill him.
While those two lines at first could be references to older shooters, Blood and Heretic, it's still fairly relevant within the context of this game. One unique voice line they spout off is at the very end of the game while you're fighting Jacob. Safe to say, these enemies do most of the magical labor within the cult, as there are a few spots in some levels where you can see pews and a ritualistic circle nearby. Black Phillip. Encountered in the very first level, and throughout the town, the name is a reference to the 2015 movie, The Witch, where the family goat is also named Black Phillip. Sporting a black coat and an exposed ribcage, there's not much to say about these Billy Boys in-universe, other than whenever they encounter the player, they let out a groan. Whether they're used for labor, meat, milk, or any other reason is unknown, although there are areas where you can see they were tied up to posts, fences, and the like. There's been many reasons as to why goats have been attributed to the devil throughout history, such as Matthew 25:31-32, where Jesus distinguishes sheep and goats as the saved and those who are cursed, the goat of Mendes, the demonization of the Greek god Pan during the early rise of Christianity, and most importantly the depiction of Baphomet in Eliphas Levi Treatise, Dogma and the Ritual of High Magic, in which among other things he gains significant inspiration for the drawing from the Greek god Pan. Rats. Objectively the most annoying enemy in the game. These tiny, rank, and rancid rodents have clear cult influences on them as their eyes glow green and what appears to be their spine is jutting out their back. Rats make a high squeak when encountering the player and will attempt to nibble off a bit of their toes. Rats are pieces of trash and I hate them. If I could find every single one of them, I would... Possessed Scarecrows. These heartless bastards will make their best attempt at surprising you, but will only be met with disappointment, as their placement in levels is telling. Standing above the Dusk Dude, these imposing figures are made with burlap sacks and straw, with another sack over their heads complete with cutouts showing their red, possessed eyes. Propped on their post, once a player gets close to them, they will hop down and let out a screech, giving you an audible cue they found you. A strange note is the blood on their body. While it could be played off as of blood of the victims they've blasted, the original model has scattered bloodied wounds almost as if there may be a body inside these walking hay bales. This is a stretch, however, as nothing else implies that there are human bodies inside, and these stains just coincidentally look like wounds. Pork Maiden. At first glance, you would assume these doll-looking sackboy-like creatures are just that, dolls. They are, however, decomposing bodies of long-past women. Their dresses are covered in dried blood from years of lying beneath the earth prior to being reanimated. They wear straw hats and a string of pearls around their neck. These walking corpses also are practitioners in magic, as when they spot the player, they shoot out necrotic-looking energy from their hands. These maidens have a couple of voice lines when attacking the player. The HD model of this enemy is significantly clearer in terms of appearance. Most notably, their skin texture now looks much more human. possessed soldiers. Covered head to toe in camouflage gear, gas masks, gloves, and boots, these soldiers have fallen to the cult's demonic forces. They are first encountered when entering the main town properly. Something interesting is that when first seen at the gates, they are actually fighting other members of the cult, implying that not every soldier has fallen to the corruptions of the horror quite yet. This is short-lived, however, as if you defeat every other enemy, the military will proceed to attack you. Whether the soldiers initially came to town in order to help or not isn't very clear, but past your first meeting with one of them, they are all hostile from there forth. Their voice lines are what you expect a soldier would say.
Flicker, intruder spotted. Stop it.
Seeing as how they're capable and potentially useful in warding off threats, they appear in many levels after first meeting them, usually guarding important areas pertaining to the cult. Scientists. The very last enemy encountered within the first episode. These lab coat-wearing, face-wrapped Dr. Decker wannabes carry around with them a syringe filled with an unknown substance. Noting how some enemies and bosses have augmented bodies, it's implied that these nutjobs are responsible for creating, or at least guiding the creation, of said monstrosities. It's clear to see this behavior in E1M10, as you can see. Scientists can be found through every episode as their knowledge is invaluable to the cult, making some of their more formidable members. When first noticing the player, they will laugh and start charging at a much faster speed than other enemies. If they make contact, they will use their needle to stab Dusk Dude. It is unknown whether the scientists are possessed or not, but not too far of a reach to think that every enemy is, or at the very least, succumbing to it. Thank you all so much for watching even part of the video. Making this channel has been a dream of mine for so long, and the fact that I've had 30 views on my other video feels amazing. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully I'll see you again.